Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'm going to be reading chapter 7 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us by Zena Lemon. Just a little bit of angst, nothing trigger warning, but just a little bit of angst. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy and take some time out of your day to relax and listen to this. See you in the fic. Dazai didn't know if it was his heartbeat or Tria's. All he could hear was "budub, budub, budub," and it was loud. Dazai's cheeks felt strained as he felt that unfamiliar feeling again, like an invisible force was pulling at his face. What was this? Euphoria? Stop smiling like an idiot, Tria grumbles, his head down so Dazai couldn't see his face, but he could practically hear the pout in his voice. His ears as red as his hair. I can't, Dazai said softly, tightening his hold around the redhead. What are you doing? Have you forgotten what you are? What you've done? Dazai was starting to appreciate not having his ability. It actually allowed him to feel. Emotions weren't just an echo of what they should be. Everything was stronger. But at the same time, it was honestly starting to overwhelm him, and Dazai didn't usually get overwhelmed. There were so many new emotions, and maybe these were the emotions he always felt, just amplified to the normal degree without his ability. Whatever that was, it was changing Dazai, in a good way, he supposed. Holding Tria, feeling his warmth against his body, the way they fit together, Dazai felt good. No, scratch that. Dazai felt... For once, in Dazai's honestly sad life, he felt great. You don't deserve this. Just existing with Tria was enough to make him die happy. In fact, it was enough to make him forget about dying at all. Since when was I so sappy? Dazai scoffed himself, but couldn't ignore his strange feelings towards the other. The more he thought about it, they weren't so strange at all. As said before, all his emotions were pretty much amplified with the loss of his ability. That makes it sound like his emotions were being turned into something way greater, something they were not supposed to be. But his original feelings were just a toned-down version of what he's actually supposed to feel. The loss of his ability turned his echoes into the yell they were meant to be. All of that admiration for Tria's humanity, that spark he always felt around his partner, Dazai was starting to realize what it was. Dazai looks down at the redhead in his arms, and again, there's that feeling in his chest. Silly Chibi, you're gonna make me have a heart attack. Dazai wasn't used to this level of emotion, especially when it was an emotion he learned to give up on a long time ago, yearning. You know how this goes. Just give up now. You don't deserve this. Not wanting to delve deeper into why he was yearning for Tria, he looks around the room in search of anything else to over-observe. That was one of the cons of being smart. Sometimes your brain goes into something you don't want to explore yet. His eyes gloss over the students in the room, noticing how Kunakita isn't here yet. He'll probably show up at whatever time his schedule is set to. His gaze lands on a girl in the corner of the room. She wasn't super eye-catching. She had long, dark brown hair and greenish eyes, from what Dazai could see. And why her? Maybe because Dazai can tell when someone was trying not to be seen. Before Dazai could examine the girl any further, Kunakita swiftly makes his way through the door, carrying a mug of coffee, the most boring mug he's ever seen, might he add. His desk covered with agendas, rosters, and miscellaneous papers, all organized obviously. About 30 seconds after he sits down, the bell rings. Always so punctual. Kunakita picks up his clipboard from his desk and walks to the whiteboard, pointing at the name on the board. Good morning. I am Mr. Kunakita, and I will start by taking attendance. If I say your name wrong, please correct me. He announces as the class quiets. He was wearing an almost identical outfit to the one Dazai knew from his original universe. The black button-down, tan vest and pants, glasses, all of it. It made sense considering his original Kunakita's past. As hearing the names being listed off, Dazai's attention returns to the girl with dark hair. He didn't make it obvious, of course, but he was keeping an eye on her, waiting for her name to be called. Dazai's name gets called up, then Chuya's, and finally the girl's head pops up. Mary? Kunakita calls out. Here. The girl, Mary, raises her hand. She had a strong voice that she was forcing to sound quieter. Dazai knew this girl was trying not to be noticed. Chuya watched as Kunakita went through the attendance and moved on to the classroom rules. Chuya didn't know Kunakita very well, but he hoped he wasn't as nitpicky as he seemed to be now. He listed off the rules one by one, reading from a green notebook while also pointing to a poster on the wall. Chuya grimaced as the rules got worse and worse. It started off simple, no talking while the teacher's talking, no eating in the classroom, etc. But then, speaking of which, you two in the back, personal space, break it up. Kunakita suddenly gestures to Dazai and Chuya, asking them to put more space between their chairs. Chuya had honestly forgotten how he and Dazai were entangled. They had been like that for a good while now, and he actually got used to it. He tries to pull away from Dazai, reluctantly following the rule, and for a second the loss of comfort makes him want to jump back into his arms. Luckily, as much as he hated himself for thinking that, Dazai kept him from getting too far away and pulling him back. Chuya is surprised by the almost needy action. It was like Dazai couldn't let him go. Dazai himself had a small flicker of surprise at his own action before taunting the blonde. You're just going to pull apart a happy couple like that? That isn't a very good impression, Mr. Kunakita. Dazai exaggerates in a hurt voice, emphasizing the man's voice in an annoying Dazai-fashioned way. I would never do that on purpose. I'm just reinforcing rules. Kunakita tries to ignore the taunt, explaining in a calm-like manner. But they aren't even school rules. They're rules you make. Why would you make rules that would break your students' relationships? Dazai twists the situation, obviously trying to mess with the blonde. You're putting words in my mouth. This is my classroom, and I do what I believe is best for it. I will not continue this topic. Kunakita counters, trying to shut down the conversation. I don't see a ring on your finger, Mr. Kunakita. I think you're jealous. Dazai drags out the eye, taunting the poor man even further. Chuya could tell Kunakita was at his breaking point. The man looked like he was going to explode as he turned towards Dazai. Kunakita glares at the boy as his eyes seem to study him. He looks a little caught off guard for a second, but then his surprise turns to worry as he notices the bandages decorating the other's arms. Just see me after class. Kunakita sounded stern, but also had a hint of worry behind his reprimand. Oh, I see. You can't find anyone, so now you're going after me? Sorry, but I reject your offer. I know I'm great and all, but you know that's illegal. Chuya jabs Dazai in the side. Kunakita was worried about Dazai and he wasn't going to let him joke his way out of getting help. He always does this whenever someone tries to get him to open up. He hated it. He hated how Dazai refused to let anyone pity him. He hated how Dazai felt like no one could pity him. He hated Dazai because he wouldn't accept how he deserved to be loved. He hated Dazai because he loved him. What a conundrum. It was funny, really. He hates Dazai because he loves him and knows that he'll refuse him no matter what. Dazai really was the worst person to fall in love with. Once class was over, Dazai bids his farewell to Chuya as he reluctantly makes his way over to Kunakita's desk. But then he sees her, Mary, standing in the hallway watching Chuya. Why was she watching Chuya? Who is this girl and what does she want? Hey, are you listening? Kunakita breaks him out of his thoughts. The question would normally be asked in an annoyed manner, but this one was calmer, worried. Dazai hates it. He hates the sympathy, the pity. Sorry, what did you say? Dazai brings his attention back to Kunakita. It's fine. I just want to know, is everything okay? I always try to be there for my students, and those bandages on your arms. Kunikita hushes his voice, trailing off as he glances at the boy's arms. It's been a long time since he's heard Kunikita actually sound worried about his well-being. There was a reason for that. Dazai didn't want anyone to care for his well-being. He doesn't deserve it. He's done so much. He doesn't deserve happiness. He's waiting, even wanting it is wrong, because anything he wants, he's guaranteed to lose. So he holds everyone at a distance. He pushes everyone away in fear that he'll lose them if he holds them too close. I'm fine, really. Dazai brushes him off. You're doing it again. I just want to know that you can talk to me. Kunikita reassures him. You don't need to push me away. I'm here to help you. Dazai freezes. You know he doesn't actually care. Why would he care about you? You don't deserve it. Don't forget what you've done. Murderer, thief, manipulator. You've ruined lives. Oda, Okutagawa, Chuya, everyone around you. Shut up. God, Dazai thought he would be able to escape these thoughts. And for a while it seemed like he did, and thought that maybe the loss of his ability would magically solve his problems. But they slowly crept back to him. I really can't have anything. Dazai looks at Kunikita. Thank you, I'll remember that. He tries to smile at the man, and the man smiles back. Now get to class. And Dazai leaves. Okay, that was chapter 7 of this life. Hang on, getting the title. The life we could have lived. This life was made for us. I love this fic, and I know I haven't done a video for it in a while, but life, procrastination, all that shit. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I probably should have recorded this video first because the other video is like triple the length of this one, the one that I just finished recording, and this would be a much easier segue into the damn recording process. So I'm gonna keep that in mind next time. Future me, mind that. Okay, maybe not. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to relax and take an easy day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.